and always have to ask, how do you train yourself once again so we can have clarity? How do you train yourself to focus on your inner being?
Great question. Okay. So yes, this is a new way of actually changing the frequency, the vibration, the circumstance and conditions of your life. So how do you change your inner being? The best way to do it is to start in the morning when you first wake and you get into this state where you just wake up and you may have just come out of a dream. And so you're consciously aware, but you're also very not in your body yet. You wouldn't move. You just feel sort of in this very deep trance state. That is the perfect time to set an intention for the day. So you can say something as simple as, I am lucky. I am lucky. I am lucky. I talk about that in the book. That's one example. But you can be picturing something that you want to show up, you want to see, or you want to experience. And what you're doing is you're setting the energy and the intent for the day in this deep subconscious state. And the reason that works really well, there's a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons is because when you're in that state, you're able to access the subconscious to set an intention. And what you're doing when you're setting an intention is you're giving instructions to the 50 trillion cells in your body. Now, when you give instructions to the 50 trillion cells in your body, those cells are like citizens of your body. And so you're giving them instructions of how you want to experience the world from that point forward. What most of us do is they wake up, we get ready for work, we get a cup of coffee, we maybe go on Instagram or Facebook, and so we feel connected to the world, but we don't intentionally create our day. So the first thing is to actually set the intention to create your day. And then the second thing is to follow your excitement during the day. And that's going to look different for everyone. And for some people, they might think, well, if I follow my excitement, that can be dangerous or unsafe or irresponsible. And what I'm going to tell you is that is definitely a limiting way of looking at the world. Because if you feel unsafe following your excitement, then you've kind of missed the point of what you're here to do in this lifetime. You're here to follow your excitement. And that's what sets the wheels and the mechanics of reality and emotion in a much faster way. Setting an intention and then following your excitement during the day.
Okay.
When I actually decided to create the book, it's I was okay, I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to do it. I had actually finished the first draft in 31 days. Okay. And once I finished the first draft, that was in May of this year. In June, I went to editing. That was about 4 weeks. But the whole time, this is the key, is that when I was following my excitement to create the book, I wasn't attached to the outcome. I wasn't like it's going to make millions of dollars or you're going to sell millions of copies. I was just the whole time I was just I just want to get this information into as many hands as possible. Now, if I got a couple clients from it or it sold a few copies, that would have been happy, but I didn't have a number in mind. It was more purely about the excitement of creating. That's it. The excitement of creating. So when I got to the book being published in September, I was like, okay, now I'm going to market it. I started marketing it. It sold 100 copies so far since the beginning of September. Now here's what was unexpected for me. That was all I was looking to do, is to get as many hands as possible, get some reviews on Amazon, and for it to show up. However, I ended up just yesterday talking to the third person who's read the book and has signed up as a client with me. Now, I kind of figured that I may get clients from this, but I wasn't fixed on I need to make so much money. It was just more, I was just following the excitement of it. What I'm realizing is the book has become a way to grow another business, and that's what's also exciting to me. So that's something where I intended to create something, and then it created, but I got to be really clear about this. I had no attachment to the outcome, no attachment of when it was going to show up. There were delays throughout the process where we went to the editing. The editing took longer. And then, or like, we had to format the book for Amazon, and that took like 3 or 4 weeks longer than I expected. But the whole time I was like, okay, I finished the book. I was excited doing it, and there's nothing else for me to do there. Like, it's in other people's hands. So at this point, I've got to go back and give myself my own advice. Well, where else can I follow my excitement? So what I ended up doing is focusing on this other business that I'm also involved in, and coming up with new ways to craft the offer and other things that were exciting to me about that, new ways of marketing that business. So while this is all happening, and that's why I believe it's really important to have like a few things that you're working on that are using your creative space, because at some point that one thing will no longer need your attention. It will get taken care of on its own. The reason we get attached is we forget that it will get taken, and there's a higher self to us. There's a higher self that is also part of your being that figures out all the details of how you want to show up. What we need to do with our physical minds is surrender to this higher self and have a really comfortable and confident understanding that whatever the higher self has in mind for us, it will show up to us in perfect timing. And again, to keep it real simple, it's just about, again, going back to following your excitement. And that's one example.